What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to share 5 fire tips to help you make your video better using just an iPhone. Before we get into the 5 tips, I wanted to quickly introduce myself. My name is Bo Bullard. I really appreciate you being here. I work for Pioneer Title Agency in the state of Arizona. So if you're a real estate agent or a lender or an investor, anything involving real estate, reach out, leave a comment on this video, or try to send me a DM over on Instagram or something so we can connect. I'd love to meet you, maybe grab some coffee or something down the road. Let's get into those tips. Tip number 1 on how to make better videos and have better content using just an iPhone. If you're going to use an iPhone to make your content, which iPhones make great video, so I would suggest starting with an iPhone if you're just getting into video. First tip is clean the camera. And so if you're shooting with the camera looking at you like this, just clean that camera with your shirt or with a rag or something, so that way it's nice and clear and the image looks good. If you're looking at it selfie like this, clean the camera up here and make sure that that's super clean so the picture is crystal clear. Tip number 2 is huge. So when you're making content using an iPhone, make sure that you're looking at the camera. So again, if you're shooting with the camera looking at you like this, make sure you're looking at these 3 camera lenses right here. If you're shooting at it selfie style like this, make sure that you're looking at the camera right up here. There's a little circle. Just look at that while you're recording. Don't look at your own eyes. Don't look at your mouth while you're talking. Make sure that you look directly at the lens. The reason tip number 2 is so critical is because people like to make eye contact with other people. And so when you look right at the lens, you're basically looking right at the person on the other end, which increases your chances of them sticking around a little bit longer during your video. So remember tip number 2, make eye contact with the camera lens. Tip number 3 is also very important, but it's something that people overthink way too much. So the tip is to have good lighting and good sound. Lighting and sound are very important, but people overthink this. They think that they have to go out and buy hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of equipment to make sure that their lighting and sound is perfect. That's not what I'm suggesting. If you're shooting with just your iPhone, just use natural light. Open up a window, or like my friend Chelsea Pites suggested, open up the fridge door. That's amazing light as well. Sound is also very important. So if you're using your iPhone, just make sure that the mics down here are not covered. Make sure that people can clearly understand what you're saying without there a lot of traffic noise or without a lot of people talking and yelling in the background. Just make sure that people can hear you and see you without too much effort. Tip number 4 is really big. Just be yourself. A lot of times people will try to be like Gary Vee or Ryan Serhant or Grant Cardone with their content. Be you. Talk the way that you talk. If you say don't freak out. That's the way you talk. Work on it. But don't not create content because you think that people are going to judge you because you're not as good as Gary Vee or somebody else. So tip number 4, just be yourself. Talk the way you talk. Be the way you are. Dress the way you dress. Be in the setting that you want to be in, and talk your truth. Don't try to be like me. Don't try to be like Gary Vee. Don't try to be like your friend down the street. Just be yourself, and I promise you, your audience will love it. Tip number 5, the final tip, is actually my favorite. So if you're using just your iPhone, you have so much more potential than you think. So if you're making content for YouTube, for Instagram, for Facebook, for LinkedIn, for TikTok, for any of these platforms that allow video, I'm going to give you a huge tip. Start using the features within these apps. So TikTok has an amazing in-house editor that you can edit, you can use green screen, you can do everything within the TikTok in-house editor. It's fantastic. Same with Instagram. Instagram has amazing in-house editing where you really don't have to do a lot of outside editing. Just use the in-house editor within these apps. I promise you it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. And similar to Instagram and TikTok, YouTube also has an amazing in-house editor where you can just go in and just start playing around. That's my biggest tip. Just go in there and play around with it. Start hitting buttons. What does this green screen do? And try it. What does this filter thing do? Try it, right? Use the text. Use every feature that these apps have to offer, and they'll promote your content more because you're actually using the things that they are giving. So be consistent. get after it, reach out if I can help with anything. And finally, tip number 4, be yourself. Don't try to copycat other people. Maybe take ideas, maybe try to take some strategies, but be yourself, right? Just be yourself, speak your truth, tell people what you want them to know about you, about your business, about your personal brand, or whatever else you want to share. If this video helped you at all, I would love it if you would reach out to me first of all and introduce yourself, whether it's in the comments or whether you find me on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about yourself. But also, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button on this video, and that way we can stay connected and you can see more of my videos going forward. It would greatly benefit my channel. I would really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.